Hello, welcome. We are doing a live podcast today. I am so excited to be doing another live podcast this week with y'all. So we are going to be going over a couple of things. First thing is, if you do this 21 times, you'll be in the top 1%. Like literally guaranteed. I just found this out myself and it is mind-blowing. Cannot wait to share. We're also going to be talking about the upcoming PowerFit Challenge. We're going to talk about the fact that I made $4,500 today from a podcast that I recorded last fall. We're going to talk about wealth mindset, letting go of vanity metrics, kind of everything that I've been wrapping up in my Digital Profit Queens. Today was day 20 of our $20,000 in 20-day challenge. Of course, this just got published to my community in the last 2 hours. So they will be implementing day 20 tomorrow. So that's almost wrapped up and just kind of catching up on life. So let's dive into it. First things first, do this 21 times and you'll be in the top 1%. Guaranteed. Does anybody know what it is? Let me tell you. If you are a podcaster who has put out at least 21 episodes, you are in the top 1%. You want to know why? Because 90% of podcasters only put out one episode. 9% of podcasters only put out 20 episodes. Therefore, anyone who has put out 21 episodes or more is in the top 1% of podcasters. Cheers! I'm in the top 1% of podcasters. Didn't even know that. Recently learned it. How freaking cool is that, right? But what this shows is truly the number one thing needed for success. It's not how smart you are. It's not how consistent you are. It's not how much money you have to start with. It's not what your current social status is, how many followers you have, who your friends are, how wealthy or how beautiful they are. What it comes down to is delayed gratification. And what you will notice is podcasters that put out a message. Granted, podcast can drive a lot of money. You can get paid for ads, for like leading and having commercials on your podcast, or you can be sharing about your business and then acquire customers from that. You obviously can be like growing a brand. But while there's a lot of money to make in podcast, it only takes 21 episodes to be in the top 1% of podcasters. So who's ready to go start a podcast? And did you know, of all the people who are on social media, like of all social media consumers in the world, only 0.04% are content creators. And of that 0.04%, 99% of them have less than 100,000 followers. So the time is now. It's not too late. You didn't miss the mark. Honestly, I feel there's more trustworthiness for some new accounts or smaller accounts than there are even larger accounts these days. Because people can assume that larger accounts or influencers or those with the big following are only getting paid to say what they're doing. Okay? So let's dive on in more about this delayed gratification and the fact that I personally share podcasts because my PowerFit members are listening to them, my Digital Profit Queens are listening to them, my empowerment coaches, my community is listening to them. And so I'm always trying to add value, teach you a lot about online business, honestly, the habits and the mindset that's needed to not only be successful in your fitness journey, but also growing a business, especially an online business in today's day and age. So I recorded a podcast last fall, okay, last end of October. And today I had a call with a client that earned me $4,500 from this podcast that I made last fall in October. And that comes down to delayed gratification. If you're willing to put out podcasts that not necessarily are going to make you a huge, immediate lump of sales, but you know that over time, sharing that will lead to sales, especially like big sales. Because when you're sharing a podcast, you have people's attention for a long time span. Like there's so much trust value there. So podcasting, if you want to get into content creation anywhere that you feel is not saturated or like you can be in the top 1%, by doing something 21 times, it's podcasting, okay? Now, I want to talk about the PowerFit Challenge because we're starting a new 6-week summer PowerFit Challenge, and that is happening this upcoming weekend. It starts on Sunday, June 30th, and it's the first one that we're hosting in our new platform that is so much more community-focused with our coaches. So we're very excited about that. All the information is on the PowerFit page as well as the show notes below. And we have a PowerFit Meetup coming on August 10th. Saturday, August 10th, there's going to be a group workout at 10 o'clock at my home gym. gym. We're going to be having a pool party from 12 to 2, and I may or may not be doing a event that evening that's more networking for like digital profit queens, social strategy, and online business, because I have heard a lot of feedback there. I'm for sure going to probably do something for my digital profit queens. It's just whether or not I open it up to like public ladies that could come that are not already members of Digital Profit Queen. So be on the lookout for that, okay? Now, what I want to talk about is, if you're struggling with like, okay, well, I'm showing up, I'm doing the marketing, I believe in myself, but like my sales or my marketing is just like not what it should be. And Randa, yours seems like electric. Well, first off, you are the driver of your own energy and your own marketing, okay? So you need to know that, break it down this simple. What problem do you solve? Because there are people who need problem solved left and right, and they are actively searching into Google to have their problem solved. And when they are actively searching for that, guess what? They are looking for the solution. So if you know how to position your product, your service, your solution, your education, your business, whatever it is, then boom, that's the alignment. And that's exactly what I do with ambition marketing versus pain point marketing, because this really speeds up the process. Is showing you someone who is ready and who wants the desired outcome versus someone who just wants to stay in their pains, whine about their complaints, complain about their pains. Pain point marketing is effective in the fact that it gets people's attention, their radars, and it can honestly drive a lot of engagement. But I have learned that those buyers typically need, and we've talked about this in a previous podcast, another 3 to 12 months of nurturing before they're even ready to become a paying client. So I speed up and position myself 3 to 12 months ahead of time just by doing ambition marketing versus pain point marketing. And if you're like, Randa, what is ambition marketing? This is what I teach all of my digital profit queens. This is exactly what I teach inside of my educational container with a thriving community of rockstar students. Y'all, I have to tell you, like, I checked in on one of my coaches this week. She's like, Randa, I was just on vacation, and she grew like 4 or 5 members from her organic content while she was on vacation. She's like, what more could a girl ask for? Danica just joined in. Hey, Danica, we're talking about Digital Profit Queens, and she celebrated 10,000 followers this morning. And while I don't coach on followers or vanity metrics, these are exciting things for my students to be like reaching and growing and having momentum, right? And then Dusty, she is a florist that does wedding florals, and literally after her first live class with me, within the first 5 days, she nailed down 3 brides, and her brides are like obviously like 5-figure clients plus. So there's been so many electric things happening within our $20,000 in 20 days challenge, and I cannot wait to wrap up and share all of that with you. But for this quick little podcast, if you're just now tuning in, I want to hit on this. Do this one thing 21 times, and you will be in the top 1%, guaranteed. Podcast. Because if you, of all the podcasters, 90% only put out 1 episode. Then 9% don't get past 20 episodes. That leaves the top 1% are those who put out 21 episodes or more. But what does that come to? Delayed gratification and balancing of your time, because I'm putting these podcasts out, not with just knowing like, oh, I've got this one link that's going to like trigger a whole bunch of sales. But hey, I got a $4,500 sale today from a podcast that I put out last October. That's worth it, right? And I've gotten more than just that one sale off of that podcast from last October. But the day that I put that podcast out, I got no sales. Delayed gratification. Number one thing. And if you want to be in the top 1%, go start podcasting, okay? Just set it up, go live, film yourself. You don't even need a mic. I don't have a mic today. I have a mic, but it's not charged. Like, just show up and do it, and you'll learn along the way, okay? Hey, Dusty, I was just bragging about you too, girl. All about wealth mindset, $20,000 in 20 days challenge. Cannot wait to share more wins from this challenge. And there's so much to talk about, like pivot and evolution and expansion, but I only have a set amount of time today. So that is it today for today's live podcast. Thank you so much for being here, for tuning in. And remember, if you're looking to be in the top 1% of only having to do something 21 times, go start podcasting. Bye, everyone.